All right, everybody, welcome back to Age of Radio Mercury. We're live at Foundry Fest. I am trying to do as many interviews as I can at this desk, so I'm going to get them to 15 to 20 minutes for everybody that's out there because I know that there's a lot of content creators here, and obviously I'm going to the ones that I've built connections with in the past, and one of those is Austin Ackert of Odd Vomit Comics. We're going to sit down with him right now, but as a reminder, we are live at Foundry Fest. If you're watching this live, on our YouTube, on the Geek Collective YouTube, on our Facebook, on X, and you're in the Valley, come on down to the Foundry. I don't know the address, just type it into your maps. You'll be able to find it. Come and hang out with us. I'll buy you a beer. It's for comics and cocktails. It's to highlight content creators in the Valley, and they are selling and vendoring some of their amazing art and content that they've created in the comic book industry or in the print industry. And so the last time that I saw Austin, were you at Tucson Comic Con?
Yeah, I think that's when we did our last one.
Oh, that's right. You were there doing that documentary.
Yep.
Or whatever. I guess maybe we'll touch a little bit on that, too. Joey interviewed you for that one.
Yeah.
So Austin, let's just start there. How was Tucson Comic Con for you?
It was a lot of fun. I didn't have a table there, but I got to hang out. We got to interview Jim Mahfood, which he's a big hero of mine. And so I got to hang out with him a little bit and talk to him at his table. And then the interview, we just got so many different guys, great interviews. It was really cool to get to hang out with them, like kind of outside the convention. Even though it was at the convention, it was almost like we had our own little,
like your own separation from it.
It was cool.
Yeah. So what's the documentary about?
It's about indie comics.
Okay.
But that's about all I know about it, really, because I'm helping them and I'll be part of it. Like, I'll be interviewed on it. I help them load camera equipment, help them set everything up, but it's Nate and Trent that are actually making the documentary. And right now, all I really know is it's about indie comics and kind of like the meat and potatoes and behind the scenes of like doing indie comics, going to conventions, putting out your own books and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, which you have experience with, which we'll talk about here in a moment. But so, Austin, tell me, because I've never actually, we usually meet in Crossing, and usually when I'm doing something, I'm running around like I don't know, the chicken with my head cut off, and trying to figure out what I'm doing, which is usually how everything goes as we continue to get better at this.
Yeah.
But so tell me a little bit about your background. How long have you been doing the comics? Do you do the writing? Are you the artist? Do you do the illustration? Do you do the letters? What does that look like from your perspective, and how long have you been doing it, and how did you get into it?
Haven't been doing it for very long. Mostly since since COVID, the lockdown and everything. I came into the scene after that, and I started working on my book during COVID. And yeah, on my book I did everything: letters, drawing, writing. And it's all like hand done. It's none of it's digital on that one. But lately I've been working with my iPad, so I've gotten, some of the stuff in the Tremors book I did digitally, and I didn't like color or letter that, but everything on that book I did.
That's awesome. And we'll talk a little bit about that more in a moment. So how did you, was your main career in graphic design, or was it anything in the field itself?
No.
Or did you just enjoy drawing and art, and then you decided to make the step forward into making your own comic? Yeah,
I did. In high school, I went to EVIT out here, and I took a graphic design. I took graphic design at EVIT. But that was the only experience I had with graphic design. I learned a little bit, but all the stuff I learned then, I think it's been so long because I graduated in 2006. So a lot has changed since then.
So it was 2006.
Yeah.
2016, 10. You said you started a couple years ago.
Yeah. So if I were to try to be like a graphic designer right now, it ain't happening.
Okay. So then, what was going on in your life at the time that you were like, okay, I'm gonna go and start this venture and start making my own comics?
It was mostly I turned 30. I had 2 kids, and I had turned 30. I'm 37 now, so this is a while ago. But I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die soon. I got to do something, and I never did. Like, oh, I've wasted my life. So I was like, I got to do something with my art.
Yeah.
So
what were you working at before that? Like, what were you doing?
Everything. Like landscaping, cooking. I worked. I was a cook for a long time, like about 9 years, and then at various different restaurants and bars. And now I'm not even doing this full time. I do asbestos and mold abatement for my day job,
Yeah.
which is nice to have the income from a day job so that I don't have to really worry about this making my money.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
because if I did, I wouldn't be making any money. So, but
So you're in this period of your life. You're trying to figure out what, trying to take. I guess this was a passion for you then,
Yeah.
something that you really cared about, that you wanted to get out the gate and bring to the people.
Yeah.
So then, did you just go ahead and you started Crimson Sunshine? Can you grab it for me? real
Carmine
quick?
Sunshine?
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Carmine Sunshine. My
no, it's okay.
apologies.
People get it
It's
wrong
so
all the
Carmine
time.
Sunshine. So Carmine Sunshine. So this is your full comic, and this one here, you did the illustration, the lettering, the writing, everything for
Yep.
it. So walk me through that process. Was it just you sitting down and doing it like on Adobe Illustrator, or what did this look like? And then did you kickstart it, or did you just go to print with it with your own money and then try to start selling it? What did that look like?
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
None of it was on Illustrator or anything like that. So I didn't know anything about how to make comics. So, I was reading online about writing. I always knew, like, I made comics as a kid, but
Yeah.
you got to learn that they did it at 11 by 17 on Bristol board, and they shrunk it down and blah, 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 and yada, yada. So I, did a bunch of research on how to make a book, and I got a lot of things wrong in this book. But
Well, so like when you say wrong, like a lot of things wrong, like the storyline, or like
just
the
storytelling wise.
Yeah.
And then like when I did some of it, I did it on this this Bristol 11 by 17 Bristol that had blue lines on it for borders, and it
Got
said
it.
like comic book page at the top. And I didn't realize you have to put that in digitally, because the photocopiers now they don't work to where you can drop off the blue like it used to not show up on photocopiers, I guess.
Yeah.
But now I think they're so good that so you have to go in digitally and remove the blue lines. I didn't know you had to do any of that. So some of my books
have the blue
lines
blue
on
line.
them.
But I mean, that adds character to it. And if
Yeah.
you don't, I wouldn't have known that. I
Right.
would have been like, oh, this is really cool.
And you see
Right.
how that page is kind of yellow?
Yeah.
It's because I had this paper for so long it started turning yellow because I like saved it up to. I'm like, I'm going to use this one day to make a comic book. So it's just little things like that. And then I feel like I've developed. I've gotten a little better at drawing since I started that book. But still, I spent like 2 years writing it, writing several drafts of the script, and then finally writing a script, and then thumbnailing all the pages and planning the book out. Like I tried to do it the way you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of it. It's good, but I feel like I've grown a little bit since then. But I am finishing it. There's 5 issues now, and the 6th one I'm like 12 pages away from finishing the 6th one. And that one I'm like doing half the book digitally, and the other half is because I drew it all. I was going to make it as one big book, and then someone else suggested I should cut it into pieces. So it was like mostly already drawn. And I
Yeah.
do plan to do a Kickstarter. But
Yeah.
I had to pay
So-
to do the print run.
So for Carmine Sunshine, what's the premise of it? What's it about?
Vampire gets abducted by aliens and then goes on a journey of self-discovery. That's the
That's
elevator
awesome.
pitch, yeah.
That's awesome. That's cool. So how many issues do you have? You might have said it when you were saying everything. How many issues do you have of it right now?
There's 5,
Okay.
but there's a 6th one that's like the last one.
Okay, so there's 5 right now. The 6th one's going to be the last one.
Yeah.
And then are you going to? So from my understanding, based off of our conversation right before this, Carmine Sunshine is your full project. Do you have another comic that you're in the works of that you're wanting to do, or a story that you're wanting to tell that's just from you?
Yeah, the next one I want to do after this that will be all me writing and like this one, but I hope it'll look a little better. It's gonna be I don't really have a title for it, but it's basically a revenge story about an ape man there's a dinosaur that eats his son, so he goes on a revenge.
Yeah, okay, got it. So then what's the hard, so in this process of you taking that to print, and you only sell, do you sell them online?
Not really, unless somebody hits me up on Instagram or something, but I don't have like a website or an Etsy or anything where I sell it. It's
Yeah.
mostly at these shows and stuff.
Right, because I see you at every, like you're the main consistent person that I've seen at every show.
I do try
that
to go
I've been to.
to-
I mean, even when we were at Tempe, the Tempe Fan Con or whatever,
The
you
library
were right.
one?
Yeah, you were right next to us. and
Yeah,
then
that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
so
right.
and you also have, you usually get a booth at Phoenix Comic Con as well.
Yeah.
So you have that booth as well. So you're everywhere. So you spend a lot of time going to these events to try to, then that's how you make your money from your comics.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to make more money off it, but mostly at the shows it's like sketch cards or prints or something. And I feel bad, like, because some people, they're very passionate about having their book, and it's, I wish it could be just Carmine Sunshine and only my stuff, but I do some fan art stuff. But I try to put, like, I feel like I have a unique style, and I try to warp the stuff that I draw, so it's not like just straight up fan art. It's like I add my own little twist to it. But I wish I didn't have to depend so much on prints and sketch cards of stuff that's not mine, but it's just the way it
right,
goes.
because there's also, so this one though, this Trimmers, you did the actual cover for.
I didn't do the cover.
No, not the cover. I'm sorry.
I did a story in it. It's like an anthology. Tom
Got it.
Rodriguez does all the covers, but
Oh, got it. So this is an anthology for Trimmers, but you did one of the stories inside of it.
yeah, I
Okay.
did that one actually.
Okay, nice. With this cool little alien.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so let me see. All right, so this is the Old Fashioned by Austin Ackert. So what's the story here in this little anthology that you did?
So I have a story in each issue, but that one specifically it's like these little aliens are here to harvest plants, and so this one, he comes up with his shovel, and he's looking at the plant, and he's about to dig it out, and another one comes up with a ray gun, and it's all in like alien language, so none of it's
Right, that's what I was going to ask, because I saw that. I was like, it's not in. It's
Yeah.
all. Is any of it in English, or you
No,
just have to figure
it's
out
all-
what's
yeah,
going
you
off?
gotta
by the,
figure out what's
okay,
going on.
That's
But
actually a really cool concept.
he's like, I got this ray gun, and look how cool this is. He shoots the plant and lifts it up out of the ground, and he's like, haha, your shovel's old and it sucks. And then a graboid pops out, so the guy's like, oh, he shoots it with his ray gun, it lifts the graboid out of the ground, and then the graboid ends up grabbing the guy and starting to eat him. So the other guy, he looks at his shovel and he realizes he can throw the shovel through the graboid and kill it. So the shovel is mightier than the ray gun in the end.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But can people buy this online, or the only
Yeah.
way to get this is at the?
You can get it from me most of the time at shows, or you can get it from me through Instagram. But there is Aquatos Comics is the one who publishes it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's on their website. I know that you can get it through. There's a Tremors like fan page on Facebook that they sell it a lot through there. But
Yeah, absolutely. So then what you were talking about a moment ago is that you wish that it could all be Carmine Sunshine that's at the booth,
or my
or you're all,
all my stuff.
correct. But so to that point though, you have a lot of stuff that you're selling, but it looks like a lot of it is stuff like this,
Yeah.
where you did the cover of this, but it's not your book that's inside of it.
Exactly.
Correct. So this is more of like a fan art type of situation.
That's I would call it fan art, and I know some people are, they're very against fan art. It's kind of like cheating, but you got to do what you got to do, I guess.
So tell me. So then why? So is it cheating because like? I guess why is it considered cheating? Because you're just doing the cover,
not
and
cheating.
then you're adding it to the like. How is this made? Can I take this out of here?
So I drew that. Yeah, go ahead. I drew it. It's like it comes like a blank. These are sketch covers. And
Got
then,
it,
I
okay.
got prints and I got little blank cards that I draw on.
Got it,
But
got it,
none.
got it.
It's not really. I guess it's not cheating. It's just pushing a brand that you're like doing a favor for someone else when you should be doing it for yourself.
So this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this is the original cover. Okay, right? Is that
Yeah,
correct?
yep.
Okay, so this is the cover of this comic here. Okay, and then this comes with a blank cover on the front of it to have the ability for you to draw the cover, and then
Yes.
you're able to repurpose it and then sell it, stating that it's not your comic book, but you did the cover art
Yes.
for it, and that's the fan art.
Yes.
I find that would be really cool. Do people not like it because it's kind of like, I don't know why. Explain that to me. Because I don't understand that. But I'm not in this on a regular basis. I think that stuff's kind of cool because you said, "Hey, grab one of what else you want to show," and I just grabbed this one because it looked badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to add my own thing to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, and it's not everybody. It's just there are some people that are, and for good reason.
Yeah.
That you should be pushing your own stuff, not pushing other people's stuff.
Yeah, 100%. I can understand that from that perspective. So when do you foresee that the 6th issue of Carmine Sunshine is going to be out?
I have 12 pages left to finish, but I got the day job. I got these other things I'm working on. I did another book for the guys that did the Tremors called
Yeah.
Gabe's Cave, where I did all the art, but someone else wrote the story. Someone else colored it, someone else lettered.
Do they so to do a project like that with the Tremors one, or I guess is it called Tremors the anthology?
Yeah,
or-
basically just
okay.
the Tremors. Yeah.
So when the Tremors anthology, when you're doing a piece like that, do they pay you up front to do it, or do they then, based off of the sales of the comic, then give you a commission based off of what's inside of it, or is it a mixture of both?
This one was like a hybrid kind of, since it's a fan-made thing basically, because it's not like it's officially licensed by some publishing company.
Right. Yep.
It's a fan book, so we kind of like anytime I need books, I get them. But I didn't necessarily get paid for it. You know what I mean? But I'm making money because I get books and I sell them.
Got it. So you
I am getting paid.
I get it. So it's like in the after part where you're pushing it out
Yeah.
there. So then, Austin, let me ask you a question. So you only come to these things. Is there a reason that you don't have like a website, or that you're doing the marketing for Carmine Sunshine and really trying to put like, or are you doing marketing for it besides coming to these events, or
Not really.
is just kind of like what you've decided to focus on?
I'm a cheap bastard, so that's why I don't.
Fair enough.
I don't
understand.
have a website
I
'cause
understand. Yeah, because
I just don't
it
wanna
costs
pay
a lot
for
of
it.
money.
Yeah.
It costs a lot of money. Joey's always asking me money for website stuff.
Yep.
I bought GeekCollective.com the other day, and it was like, I don't know, $2,000.
Oh,
he didn't
my
ask
God.
me. He didn't ask me to do that. I wanted it.
Yeah.
I wanted to have it. So.
He hates anything that is .net.
Okay.
No, it's not that.
needs
It's
to
that
be
if we could
.com.
get, well, for the longest time, Age of Radio was ageofradio.org, and it bothered the crap out of me because org's usually associated with like,
Like an organization or-
like
yeah.
nonprofits, right? And so I found that there was this radio station in Texas that had ageofradio.com, but they weren't using it. So I reached out to them through email and said, hey, I'm interested in this. What would you be willing to sell it to me for? And they came back with like $5,000 for ageofradio.com, but I got them down to $1,500, and then I bought it.
Nice.
So then when I was like, okay, maybe I could get geekcollective.com, so we didn't have to use .net, so I just reached out to them. But they originally wanted, I think it was $7,000
Oh my
for
God.
geekcollective.com. Yeah, and so I said, I will give you, I think I landed on $2,000. So I started off lower than that. Like, I was like, I'll give you $1,000 for it. Like, we can't do 1,000. How about 3? And I was like, how about 2? And then they ended up. But
Nice.
yeah, so just for domains alone, it can be expensive.
That's
so
what
I
I'm saying.
understand that.
And I just use the socials. I try to do like word of mouth coming to these type of things.
Yeah.
But and Carmine Sunshine, I am proud of it, and it's my book and everything. But it's not necessarily the one that I want to go balls to the walls like promoting.
Got it.
I feel like there's probably going to be something that I do soon in the next few years that I'll probably be more wanting to put out there. But I mean, this is my first thing. But
Yeah, he's trying to get you to do divination, do it
Oh,
through his
yeah.
comic, divination comic. All right, well, Austin, I appreciate your time. One last question for you: what is a hot take for you in the comic book industry?
oh man, a hot take. Oh God.
And if you can't think of one off the top of your head, what's a tip for a content creator? Oh, maybe a hot take on AI. How's your feel about AI?
Man. Oh, dude, that's a tricky one because there's this guy I know that he was putting together a pitch for like a movie for the next Tremors, and he made like a presentation packet with like concept art and stuff. He did it all with AI, and I was like, oh man, that's fucked up. But if you think about it, he would have if
Joey's so mad right now. but
if
go on.
if he would have hired me to do that, not only would I have taken like probably 6 months to do the amount of stuff that he needed in that packet,
Yeah.
but also he would have had to shell out some major cash to me because I'm not doing that for free. And he did it, he probably printed that all out one night and laminated
Yeah,
it.
but do you think that you doing it would have been better?
Gonna sell it.
I mean, it looked all right, but you could tell it was AI.
Got it.
And
So-
it did, and it didn't have like this personality to it. Like if I did it, it would have my
like
flair.
you in it.
Yeah.
Right, like you were inside of it where people can be like, this is Austin Ackert. In fact, I was with Joey in Tucson at Tucson Comic Con, and we were in a grocery, like a Circle K or something, and they had like DC Comics, and Joey just
Yeah.
looked at it and was all like, geez, he just looked at it and knew who the artist was on it, just without even knowing that was the artist. And I looked it up and looked. I was like, oh yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Right. So
that's the thing. You want to have that's my goal is for someone to like that see my comic on the stand and be like, oh, that's Austin.
yeah,
That's the goal.
yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you, Austin. Any last words that you want to say to anybody that's watching this now or in the future?
Be cool.
Be cool. All right,
Be
everybody
cool.
be cool. We got be excellent to one another, and
Be
then we got
excellent
be
to one
cool. And so you can find Austin at Austin Ackert. And that's on Austin Ackert Art. That's on Instagram, X. No,
I don't really do X all that much, but I got Blue Skies,
Sky, yep.
Sierra or whatever, Kara, Facebook, Instagram, yeah.
All right, cool. All right, guys, we are live here at Foundry Fest. We are here at 2:30. We only have about an hour and a half left. I don't know how many of these are going to do. I might have to do a rapid fire walkthrough with the iPhone here just to hit everybody up. But having some great conversations. Austin, appreciate you. Thank you.
Heck yeah, man.
And we will be back in a little bit for another Age of Radio Mercury, your home for podcasting news and pop culture news. Again, we're live at Foundry Fest. My name is Jeremy. As I always say, be thankful, grateful, and kind, and we'll talk with you guys soon. Bye.